I'm Bob Hallmark, and I'm in Hideaway Lake today, and we're talking about a birthday, but not just any birthday. We're talking about a 100th birthday for a man who has lived a very memorable life, and he joins me right now. This is Paul Harrington. Paul, you had your 100th birthday yesterday, is that right?
Yeah, right.
And I understand that it was quite a spectacle. You had lots of people that you had.
There were lots of people that had come. We had it 2 nights in a row.
Oh, did you? Now, was it?
One night was at the old firehouse, and the next night was at the old marina.
Okay.
Yeah,
So did you have a great time?
Oh, I did. Yeah. Uh, there were people that had come from Colorado and
Okay.
Indiana, and one of them was a former student of mine. He's 80.
Oh my goodness.
His son brought him.
Now I mentioned in talking about this that Mr. Harrington has had a memorable life. Now let me give you a little bit of a background on that. When you were a child, you actually saw Charles Lindbergh land.
Land at Minneapolis on his tour after he had flown across the Atlantic.
Okay, you can go ahead and put his hat on if you want to. And this is the other thing. Take a look at his lid right there. World War II veteran. And Mr. Harrington had a rather risky job in World War II. You were an artillery spotter.
Yeah.
And that could get kind of risky at sometimes.
Well, it was, except that guns fired also give away their position. And so you had a reference point there.
So once they started firing on you, now you knew where they were.
Well, I tried to get away, yeah.
You said your plane was hit a couple of times, is that right?
Huh?
Your plane was actually hit. Is that
right?
Yeah.
I don't remember how many times I rifle fire, but I do remember one of the machine gun fires because it came down through a break in the clouds, and I was in a valley that was held by the Germans with machine guns on each side, but they were poor marksmen on a moving target, I guess.
So you obviously are very lucky to come back in one piece.
I think so,
yeah. So for the sake of fortunately for you, the Germans weren't very good shots, I guess.
I would say he wasn't a very good shot. Yeah. Well, he wasn't used to firing at a moving target.
Gotcha.
That was the difference.
Very important job because artillery spotting would let your command know exactly where they needed to hit so they could knock out artillery too.
Well, I usually had an observer with me that did firing and my job as a pilot was just to avoid getting hit.
And that's the whole thing right there is Mr. Harrington was not just the spotter, he was the pilot of this. Did you fall in love with flight at some point? Was there a point in your life where you really wanted to learn how to fly?
Well, I think so. My folks paid for me to go over the World's Fair in 1933, and the pilot said he had it was a 4-passenger plane. He already had 2 passengers in there. He said, "You can sit up with me and be my co-pilot." So, a 10-year-old kid, he's pretty pretty happy about being in that situation.
I'll bet. Yeah. That had to be the thrill of a lifetime at 10 years old for you.
Yeah. Well, it was.
Yeah. Now, it's not just all of those things. After the war, you became very productive in a lot of areas. Now, I know that you have a connection to Indiana, right? Mhm.
Well, I taught agriculture and biology and physics.
Mhm.
Yeah. I learned a lot the first year I taught physics.
If you had a favorite memory, and you have a lot of them, I know you
Yeah.
do. If you had favorite memories, what would those be?
Oh, I don't know. I suppose the birth of some of my grandkids and great grandkids, because I don't know what you saw. Uh, my grandson had his two little girls there too, and his wife. But they're little runners. They just run everywhere, so you hear the pit-pat of little feet running.
That's got to be one of your favorites right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's been a very long, now not too many people get to where you are. I mean,
I guess not. A Boston professor at the University of Boston said is 1 out of 5,000 make it to 100, and that's not very good odds.
well, you certainly beat those odds, didn't you?
I guess.
A lot of people are going to see this and they're going to go, boy, you know, the guy's pretty sharp. I mean, 100 years old and he's very sharp and everything. Do you have advice for people, I guess, how to live a long, happy life?
No, I don't. I guess you just try. I thank the Lord every day for still being alive, and that's all I can say about it.
And you're still active today. You still do lots of things, I'm guessing.
Well, not as many as I think.
But I'm guessing that was yesterday and the day before. I'm guessing it was wonderful to see all of those people that thought so much of you.
Oh yeah, well, it's an honor to have them make that kind of a trip. You know, Indiana isn't the next state, and so it is an honor to have one of my former students come with his son.
I'm guessing for you, it really was a happy birthday.
Yeah, it was to see all the people that came. Yeah.
Okay.
And I had a great grandson and a great great grandson come from Minnesota.
Oh.
Or no, North Dakota. Excuse me.
Wow, they did come a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was nice to see all those faces again, I'm sure.
I guess I'd never seen it. Well, I saw him when he was 5 years old.
Oh.
But there's a lot of difference.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Harrington. You've lived a very, very memorable life, and happy birthday.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you. And we'll have more on this story tonight on KLTV 7 News. For KLTV WebXtra, I'm Bob Hallmark.